Hello NerdyVloggers, I am making a very quick, brief video for you all today on this fine Tuesday. This week's theme is Nerimon's YouTube survey for the year 2012, which, if you don't know, it's just this survey that Alex Day Nerimon made up, and he made up one last year, and I actually did it on my main channel last year, so if you're interested in that, you can look for that, and I'll put a link down below, I guess. And then this year he is doing it once again, and I did actually film one, I think a little over a week ago for my main channel, but I never got around to doing anything with it or editing it, so Brianna suggested it for the theme this week, and I just figured why not do it now instead. So here we go. Very first question is, why are you called that? And I'm assuming this means, why are you named what you're named, I guess. I am called by the name my parents gave me, which is Lauren. I am called Lauren because that is my name. And yeah, I was almost named Ashley, actually, which is kind of weird. I don't really think I look like an Ashley. I mean, I guess I would if I was named Ashley, but yeah, I was almost named Ashley Lauren, but they changed it to Lauren Elizabeth instead, which I prefer, to be perfectly honest. And then also my YouTube username is Lola Loves, and it's LOLALUVES, not LOVES, because to be perfectly honest, I made up Lola Loves, that name, when I was in middle school. I think I was like in 8th grade or something, and I got my first MySpace. I put that as my URL, so I made it my YouTube username. And I never bothered to change it, because you can't, I don't think. So, yeah, I know. Awesome, right? Moving on. Also, my nickname Lola comes from my cousin who couldn't say my name, Lauren, and so he called me Lola. He'd be like, Lola. So, that's where that came from. And the only person that still calls me Lola is my dad, and that's it. Tell us about your favorite school teacher. My favorite school teacher was in high school, for sure. I actually had I think I had like 3 favorite school teachers, but my number one favorite, her name is Miss Blake, and she was a science teacher, and I hate science. I never had her for a class, though, so I guess technically she is my teacher, though, because she was the coach for the school's dance team, and she also choreographed all the musicals. And so that's how I got to know her, and I was on the dance team my senior year, and I was the dance captain for my first senior musical, and in the second musical we did, I was assistant choreographer, so I had to work with her a lot, and she has been through so much through her life, and yet she is one of the most amazing, intelligent people I know, and I really look up to her for that reason, and so that's why she's my favorite school teacher. What's the strangest food you've ever eaten? I don't eat a lot of weird foods. I eat pretty normal stuff. I eat chicken like all the freaking time. It's kind of sad. But I think the strangest thing I've ever eaten, it's not even that strange to me just because I eat it whenever I get sushi. I eat eel usually because it's really tasty. Yeah, that might be weird to some people, I guess, but if you've never had eel in sushi before, you should try it. It's kind of expensive, but it's really good. Tell us about your first gig. My first gig, and I know he means like the first time we ever went to a concert of any sort. And I have never actually like been to like a real major concert before. I've only ever gone to a couple of small ones that involve YouTubers. But my first concert where it was actually like people were kind of like pumped up, you know, and having a good time was Lauren Fairweather came to Springfield, and it was her and a few other Wizard Rockers, and this was the summer before my senior year of high school, and I went with one of my best friends, and it was one of the best nights of my life, I'd say. It was just so much fun. Oh my god, and I remember I have pictures on Facebook of it too, and it was just one of like the greatest nights of my life. What is your favorite place in the world? I haven't been to that many places, so I can't really like say my favorite place like as in like a city or a country or anything like that. I kind of have to stick to my somewhere in my hometown because that's the only place I've really ever been to. So I'd have to say my favorite place is definitely stage right. It sounds weird. Stage right on the stage in my theater, at my high school theater, when no one else was around and it was really dark and all we had on was the ghost light, and I would go sit against the wall on stage right, and that's my favorite place in the world. It was where I was most at peace, I guess. It was where I went when I wanted to be alone and I wanted things to be quiet. So, yeah. And last but not least, who do you want to answer the survey next? Well, obviously I want Brianna to answer it next since she's, you know, making the videos with me on this channel. But if I could, I would love to see Sydney Sounds answer this survey. I'm probably taking some of Brianna's answers. And I'd love to see Deanna Defendorfer, I think D-Bubberfy is her username on here, answer the survey next. She hasn't made a video in a while. She's one of my best friends though, and she used to make videos and she kind of just stopped because life gets in the way sometimes. And then someone who has never made a video before, I think you should make this, and maybe this will motivate you because you keep saying you want to make a video and you haven't yet. So my other best friend that I love dearly and who has gotten me through this weekend because I've had like the worst weekend ever. Don't want to go into it, but Caitlin, you should answer the survey next. And I think your username is KReynolds0312 because that's your birthday. So, yeah. Basically, I'm just picking my 3 best friends to answer the survey next. Yeah, and they're all IRL, by the way. I don't have any friends on the internet. Probably a good thing, actually. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye! I will see you Thursday, Brianna.